First press conference from Game 3 of the championship series will feature the Florida State Seminoles, left student athletes Kaylee Mudge and Danny Morgan. And then following that, we'll have head coach Lonnie Alameda. Probably going to be a little bit as we wait. They're doing on-field presentation now, as most of you are aware. So several of the Seminoles are on the all-tournament team, and then they'll have the runner-up hardware as well. So hang on. This is the national championship game press conference featuring the Florida State Seminoles, joined by student athletes Kaylee Mudge and Danny Morgan. Questions for our student athletes. Danny, kind of take us through this ride that you guys have been on for the, starting with regionals and supers and this World Series. Probably some people that doubted you would get this far, but I know you guys believed you would win a national championship. Tell us about this journey for you.
I think this journey
I know it's difficult.
I'm just so proud of this team to be here and everything we've gone through this year, and just to persevere and to be in this moment is what we dreamt of. And I'm just proud that this team was able to get here and give everything we had.
Thank you, Danny. Melvin Stith.
Haley and Danny, congratulations on a fantastic season. You got farther than really anyone thought, except you guys. Kaylee, can you talk a bit about breaking the record for most hits in a College World Series? And also, how do you think that this experience will help you going forward in your career, giving you really good experience?
Yeah, I'm just blessed to be here, honestly. Coming into the World Series, I did not think that I was going to break any records. I was just excited to put my feet on the clay here. I'm just grateful that God has given me the opportunity to be here. My teammates and my coaches, the support staff, the fans, they've all just helped me get here, and they've made me the player and person that I am. So I'm just grateful to be here and have the chance to make some records. Obviously, in the game, I wasn't really worried about that. I was just trying to help my team win a national championship. But, yeah, I'm blessed to be here. I think moving forward, it's a great learning moment. Definitely know that there's a lot more to come from this program. The seniors have been amazing. Danny's been such a role model to me. So I'm just grateful for them and for the culture that they've left behind, and I'm excited to get after it next year.
Kurt Weiler.
Danny, you're one of a number of the super seniors who put life on hold for a year to come back and use that extra year for the pandemic. It obviously didn't end the way you wanted, but how much did this run and being a part of this kind of validate that choice?
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. Being here, just getting to, play extra games with this team, and it's a special team, and we love each other, and we fought with each other, and I would never second guess the decision I made, and I would make it 100 times over.
Ashley Coleman.
Yes, again, congratulations to the both of you for making it to this stage. Now, you all have talked about the sisterhood and having such a strong bond. Can you tell us what this bond would mean to you moving forward?
Start with Kaylee, please.
Yeah, I feel like I've met 25 sisters since being here. It's just such a family atmosphere here. The coaches make it a family atmosphere, and we really buy into that culture. And I know that I've made 5 friends with the seniors who are leaving, and I know that I'm going to be able to go to them for anything. And I'm just excited to spend more time with the people that are staying and just to create that family culture for the people coming in. It's so nice to have a team that gets to this level that that is just for each other, and everyone on the bench is rooting for everyone, and everyone on the field is just all in for the team. It's such a great atmosphere here. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Danny?
Yeah, it's lifelong. You can see that with all the alumni that came to support this weekend, from ex-players to ex-managers. I mean, it's a culture and it's a family atmosphere from the top to the bottom. And not only do I have 25 sisters, but I have a second mom and coach, just family and all the staff. And it's just the culture at Florida State, and it's something that attracted me to the school, and it's something that is gonna keep alumni just supporting this program.
Jenny Carlson?
Hey, Kaylee. I was wondering a little bit about G. Juarez today and yesterday. You got hits off of her, but it wasn't easy. What was important for you to be able to put the ball in play, and what were the challenges that she presented you guys these last two games?
Yeah, G is a great pitcher, and I know she has a lot of experience being here and being on the big stage. I think for us, it was just about making adjustments coming into today. She has some great spin, some great velo, so we were just trying to put balls in play and try to find the barrel, and obviously we came up short on the scoreboard, but I'm just still so proud of our team for fighting.
All right, last one for our student athletes, Ronald Smith.
This is Ronald E. Smith, and my question is for both athletes. We just heard over the broadcast all the breaking numbers that this whole tournament had. It was just mind-boggling. But just for us sitting out and you playing through the whole thing, just talk about the whole entire experience, from the rainouts to the pushbacks, the late hours, all of it together. Just how was it for you?
Danny, please.
I mean, this is what you dream about. The rainouts, the 2 a.m. games. It doesn't matter when you're playing, because you just want to be here and play. It's exhausting. It's a long week, but like I said, it's what you dream about, and it's an experience that you'll never forget.
Haley?
Yeah, I agree with Danny. It's been a dream to be here. Hope that I get to come back, but this past week has just been amazing. I don't think it's really set in for me yet, because I've just been living it with my sisters, so it's just been a dream to be here.
Danny, Kaylee, thank you so much for everything for the past week and a half. We appreciate you so much. Best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now joined by head coach Shalani Alameda. Coach, we will begin with Kurt Weiler.
Coach, I know it's not obviously the way you wanted it to end, but looking back, I mean, if you look back at the ACC semifinal loss and then being here, I guess, what do you think it is about this team that they were able to just rally together like this and come together kind of when it meant the most?
I mean, I think you want to be playing the best softball at the postseason time of year. So, as a coach and as upperclassmen, you keep pouring ingredients in and hoping that, when you hit the end of May and June, that you can create something special. And I think we just kept pouring into each other. Softball skills, mental game, relationship building, team bonding. We just kept pouring it in, and the mixture showed up at the right time.
Graham Hayes.
Hi, Lonnie. You were around the Pac-12 at the height of kind of Arizona and UCLA. There are more challengers now. You're a part of that, winning a title. But are there similarities in the standard that OU has set in the last 9-10 years and what you saw those Arizona and UCLA teams?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think sometimes you're playing a tradition, I think here you're obviously playing a fan base. It's a little bit different here. It's a home game for them for sure. And I think our kids did an incredible job. We didn't let that bother us too much. It was more a celebration of softball than anything. But they definitely got momentum on their side on that case. And I think that's easy to recruit to and easy to build on. They do an incredible job of coaching. I mean, it was probably the most fun for us as a pitching staff to figure out how to beat each and every hitter in their lineup. And, they do a good job on that part. But yes, I think what Arizona and UCLA had back in the day, now has gone coast to coast. Now the game of softball has grown. The SEC opened up. The ACC is competing now. The Big 12, the Big 10, it's just given a lot more opportunity. And if you see both of us coming out of the losers bracket to play today, an exhausting weekends, I don't even know how many days it's gone, and of playing softball, it's just it's really cool to see where the future is going to go for it.
Melvin Stith.
Coach, congratulations on a great season. Can you talk a little bit about the reason you had to put Emma in the game? That was kind of a surprise to see her come in. And also just about the intangibles of this team, because if you just look at the raw numbers, you probably shouldn't have gotten as far as you got, but it must have been something that clicked that helped you get this far.
Yeah, for sure. I think you got to go game plan. And, all season long, Emma's an incredible pitcher. She's going to be incredible down the road. So I haven't been able to use her a ton this season because of the reasons you just said. We struggled scoring some runs, and so we didn't get to really platoon too much of our bullpen. And, kept working with her and telling her there's going to be big times. There's going to be a big righty lineup that you're going to be able to get to. And nerves got the best of her, and that was my call, and that was the plan on getting in there from today. We're going to have to give some different looks to them today to get through it. And the main thing is we got to score some runs. It wasn't going to be a 1-0 ball game, a 2-1 ball game. They hit the ball, and we knew that, so we had to sell out to try to beat some of their hitters. That the inning got to us. Maybe it wasn't so fair on her part for me to put her in there, but I know she wanted it. I know for the future of this program, it's going to be good for her to take that memories to us, and it's by no means her fault for what happened. But Kat came in there, and she's ready to go. But I think when you have a game plan, you stick with it, and it works. Everyone looks great. And if it doesn't work, then everyone questions it. But that's the way it goes as a coach sometimes. And I'm really excited for her future. And I think the pitching staff, we did our best. And, we gave it our all. That was a big motto today coming in here. Just empty the tanks. Give us all you have. Offense, defense, energy, pitching. This is our plan, and we're going to go with it. And I'm super proud that they did that.
Ashley Coleman.
Coach, we've talked over the past few days about the importance of enjoying the moment. This game recorded roughly 3 million viewers just at home. What would you say to those fans who cheered you all on back at home?
Yeah, I'm grateful for the fan support, not only for Florida State for the game of softball. I don't know how many of my college teammates were here this weekend that kept telling me how proud they were of us growing the game and, just being a part. Baseball, softball, so many athletic players from my days at OU are here, and they just love the growth of softball. And I think that's a big thing that we've always been a part of is growing this game, not only here but internationally too. It's a great game. So, and I hope all the viewers saw how much passion we have for the game. We're gritty. We love playing, and we play for the bigger picture. And, I hope that they saw that. And, it was two completely different storied teams coming in here. I think it also shows that you can do it different ways when you get to the final championship. And OU got it. They're an awesome team, but we are too. And we fought to the very end.
Brian Aber.
Yeah, Lonnie, obviously you've got a very unique perspective on OU softball back to the days of playing at Reeves Park. What to you is the most impressive thing about, or the toughest thing about what Patty Gasso has done, the program that she's built, and what OU softball has become?
Yeah, she's obviously got the recruiting lifeline, so that's a big part of it. When you're building, you got to make sure you get the right recruits that can flourish in your program. She's figured that piece out. She's got very loyal, obviously, family and the coaching staff, so that helps too with loyalty. But they got something special, and it's awesome, and you can see it. I think here, the state of Oklahoma, having been a player here and at Reeves Park and getting kicked off by slow pitch teams to now, softball is big in the state. And I love what Oklahoma State's doing too. Kenny's doing a great job there. So this state is supporting the game. The state loves the game. And I think that's only a great opportunity for young girls to grow up and want to play at this level. Not everyone can play in Norman, and not everyone can play in Stillwater. So it's just going to help grow our game and give more eyes on it and give more opportunities.
Kurt Weiler.
Lonnie, you had a number of those super seniors who I know put some pretty big plans on hold to get to come back and be a part of this team. I think it's safe to say you all probably wouldn't have been at this stage without what they were able to give you this year. I guess what can you say about that group?
Yeah, I'm so happy for them to be able to end their career here. I can't tell you how many senior conversations we had over the journey of this season, and how can we share with a vision of where we want to go, not only through story but through the way that we do things, the ups and downs. This is a really trying year. It was a really trying year as a coaching staff, as players, and it wasn't just this season. It was the end of COVID season to now. We all had to figure out how to stay connected. We had to figure out how to do things differently. At times, it really pulled at the fringes of what you were doing, and you're second guessing so many areas. And I am so proud of them. And I think that, they kept the vision in mind, and really made sure that we stayed together as a unit and we had great relationships. We also understand that not everyone's going to be the best of friends, but we got to respect each other. And I think they shared that with us good, so we can make this run in the end. So I am very grateful for that, because this program moving forward is a solid foundation, with them, what they gave to us. But I'm also very proud of them, and happy for them, because they did end it here in Oklahoma City where they wanted to be.
Aaron?
Lonnie, congratulations on a terrific run, first of all.
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember that you coached against the 2013 Oklahoma team early that season, the one with Chamberlain and Ricketts and Penley and that lineup. Now that you've seen this version of OU softball, does this squad compare favorably to that one, just in terms of firepower and strength?
Yeah, obviously Lauren Chamberlain was, a good hitter, and you look at her running around here with all those jerseys. So like Danny alluded to, there's a lot of love for alumni and for the program, and Patty creates that with her organization, just like, we take pride in that here too. So, she gets some rabbits. She gets some kids that can run. She's always got pitching. It's the sauce that she's got figured out there, and she does a good job of it.
Last one for Coach Irish Shuffle.
I know it's tough at times like this to think about the future. You're thinking about the now, but can you reflect on what this experience was like for some of the younger players?
Yeah, we have so much talent being redshirted right now that was able to see this, and not only see the experience on the field, but the prep for it. I've got a couple kids that had injuries, and a couple kids that were just redshirting due to position stuff and COVID numbers, but they were behind the scenes, so they weren't able to get out there and play, but they were behind the scenes and feeling it. They could see the emotions of our senior class right now, so it really propelled us forward, where we want to go. So now we get to work on their softball skills as they come back from injury, and then we get to build on this emotional piece that they know is so important, and the grit piece that's so important when you get here. So I always talk about how leadership is really hard to do. Today's world of judgment and the second guessing, it's just really hard to be a leader day in and day out. But they see how important that is right now, and they see how important the glue and keeping it together. So when we get challenged next year, they're going to look back at the senior class who stuck with it and just kind of keep working through the failures and keep appreciating the highs and lows, because in the end it's worth it, and they lived that and they were here. So I know that that's going to be a great building block for us.
Coach Alameda, thank you so much for your time over the past week and a half. You and your student athletes are tremendous representatives of Florida State. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy early birthday, by the way.
I don't count those anymore.
Next up will be Oklahoma, and we'll be joined by, at the least, Jocelyn Allo and Dee Juarez, potentially Jada Coleman as well. A little update for the Oklahoma press conference. We'll have Jada Coleman and Nicole Mendes to begin with, and then we'll have G. Juarez and Jocelyn Allo, and then we'll have Coach Gasso following that.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, I was like, I'm ready to go. The icebox, I'll get you one.
A little reverse order as I look in front of me, and this is the press conference for the national champion Oklahoma Sooners. We have student athletes G. Juarez and Jocelyn Allo. Questions for our student athletes? We'll start with Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Giselle and Jocelyn, what did it mean to see Patty Gasso celebrate this national championship, and what does it mean to you to now be a part of the fraternity of OU and Patty Gasso national championship players?
Start with G, please.
Honestly, like, all the glory goes to God. We've been battling together. That's been kind of our thing, and I mean, God helped us through this, and He just worked through us, and I think it's just really awesome. And to see Coach with us, like, it's just really awesome to see us do what we were trained for. So, I mean, God gets all the glory today.
Jocelyn?
I think it's super awesome. Like G said, God's been with us this whole time, and to see Coach in that moment was just awesome. I think she kind of has relied on me and G for a little bit, and just to share that moment with her was awesome. Another thing too is that Coach has actually, never mind. Sorry, I just am lost for words right now.
Jenny Carlson.
Please cut that.
I was hoping you'd finish it. I wanted to hear what you were going to say.
Sorry.
Hey, Jocelyn, a couple things. Can you just talk about the fact that in that designated player spot that you were in this tournament, hitting is that's what you're doing for this team, and to have that as your singular focus and to be able to produce like you did throughout this tournament, the challenge in that, what is that for you? And then to get that first run on the board today, I think you had a 2-2 count, you'd fouled, you'd swung and missed. To get that home run in that moment, talk me through that a little bit too.
Yeah, it's kind of just been smooth sailing, quite honestly. As a DP and as a hitter, I try not to think so much about outcomes, more so just focusing on the process of things. So really, I was just going up there and I was doing my thing. And today, when I seen the ball go out, I was like, yes, finally. But yeah, it was just very good. I just really stuck to my plan and I knew what I wanted. So it was good to see the ball go out and just give us the early lead.
Joey Helmer.
Yeah, G, I think it was pretty fitting that the last play came to you on the pop-up. What were you thinking as that ball was popped up and you're about to catch it? And then what was the celebration like? And Jocelyn also, what were your thoughts when you're running out there for the celebration?
Honestly, I was kind of hoping it didn't go in the sun and that they would let me catch it. But I mean, I felt so slow motion, and then just to look up after I caught it and see Hanson running at me, like, surreal, awesome moment.
Eric Bailey?
G, I just wanted to ask you, at what point were you told you were going to pitch today, and how did you feel? It just seemed like you stayed strong throughout the game.
I think this morning, not super early, but it was before we had left the hotel. So, I mean, I felt good. I knew adrenaline was going to be going through. I mean, it was my last game here as a Sooner, and I just wanted to leave it all out there on the field for my teammates, and that's what I did.
Josh Calloway?
Yeah, Giselle, obviously your season absolutely incredible. And have you even begun to comprehend what you did this week at the WCWS? Performed at an extremely high level and got most outstanding player. Has it even set in at all, how high you performed to cap off your career?
No, it hasn't set in. But, I mean, I just wanted to go out there and have my team and just give them every chance to win. And, I mean, the beginning of the season wasn't great for me, but I just kept grinding and trusting God's plan for myself. And, I mean, he had this moment planned for me. So I think man, it just feels surreal right now.
Graham Hayes?
For Jocelyn, when you were growing up playing in Hawaii or coming over for travel ball, when did the idea of OU softball start to become something different for you? When did that brand become something that mattered?
It was actually my senior year of high school. So I don't know if you guys know, but I was actually committed to Cal Berkeley my freshman year and then decommitted from there my senior year. And I remember calling my travel ball coach, Coach Mike, and I was like, hey, like my heart's not with Cal Berkeley no more. Is there any other options? And Oklahoma said they might have something. So I took a visit up there and I committed on my 18th birthday. So my birthday is always like a special thing to remember. But man, to be from Hawaii and to be in a national championship and win a national championship was awesome. And I just want to say to all the other Hawaii kids that things like this can happen with hard work, and that you just continue to do your thing every single day.
All right, last one for this group, Brian Kaplan.
Hey, this one's for Jocelyn. Can you just kind of talk about what Nicole Mendes, Shannon, and Giselle meant to this team, that they all had their big moments this weekend as they have all year?
Oh, it's going to be tough without them next year, man. It's going to be so sad without them. And it's just kind of setting in that this was my last game with them. And I've come through this program with them, and they mean so much to this program. And I'm so happy we could win a national championship for them.
Making me cry.
I know. But I was just so happy to have this with them because we've been talking about it all year, and we just continue to trust in God. And man, I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them so much.
Jocelyn G, thank you so much for your time throughout the week. Congratulations, national champions.
Thank you.
We are now joined by student athletes Jada Coleman and Nicole Mendes. We will begin with Clay Horning.
Sure. For both of you, what was it like watching Giselle get this opportunity? I don't know if we all thought she would get it, and not just being good, but being really good, just delivering.
Start with Nicole, please.
I just remember being so proud. I remember last year whenever she got hurt and her not knowing if she would be able to come back. I remember 2 years ago in 19 being on the other side of this ball and her pitching her heart out, and to see her come back from both of those two big adversities and to be where she is, like, I can only smile because it's such a G thing to do, to come in and to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to own this one. And I'm going to bounce back from this injury, and I'm going to carry my team to this championship. It was such a special moment.
Jada?
She just came out on fire this weekend. I mean, she was built for the College World Series. Her mindset is for the College World Series. And we've had Nicole have come in for her earlier in the season, but she came in to be G Wars this week. And she came this game saying, I'm G Wars. I'm about to do G Wars things. So I'm just so proud of her. Great super senior to look up to. It was great.
Rhiannon Potke? Let's go to Eric Bailey.
Hey, Nicole, I just wonder, a game like this, a championship, how big is it for these younger players on the team? And they experienced it, and you got to experience it with them. How big was this win moving forward for the Oklahoma program? And then also for Jada, how big is it to win one as a freshman to come in and have this your first year?
Start with Nicole, please.
Whenever I think of Oklahoma, I think of championships. This is what we do here. And for this freshman class, they stopped being freshmen in the fall. They are so talented and they are so confident, and they play the game with such grace and maturity that I don't even think of them as freshmen. So moving forward, they have 3 more years of this, and the talent that's coming in is only better. I just think Coach has done a great job building this program, not just for this year, next year, but for the future. Definitely am ready to watch them and see what they do, because getting to be in these games and getting to win these games and have a season like this, whenever they're juniors and seniors, that season mentality, that experience is going to help them in more ways than they can count.
Jada?
Winning a national championship my freshman year, it was high expectations, but you know that when you commit here and when you sign here, you have very high expectations. You're the best of the best, and you play the best of the best all the time. And I can't believe I'm sitting here right now actually having this hat on and this shirt. Like, I knew, I believed in this team that we were going to do it, but to actually do it, I just like want to cry. Like, this is my dream, and to do it my freshman year, now I just got to keep on doing it and not give up and just keep working.
Abby Bitterman?
Yeah, Nicole, just to bookend your time at Oklahoma with 2 national championships, just how do you look back on your own career here?
I think that I grew from a young girl into a woman during these past 5 years, and coming in as a freshman and winning it, and then struggling and grinding and working with different teams to get back to this moment. And finally, in my last year, winning it again. I don't know, it just seems like such a way to go out. And I know a lot of athletes don't get to experience this kind of closure the way that those super seniors have been able to. But, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. The ups and downs, the trials, I'm at peace. And I am so grateful for the time that I've had at OU and for the experiences coaches taught me and what the team has taught me.
Roy Hilmer?
Yeah, Nicole, the other day after the first loss, you said this team doesn't lose twice, and shoot if you weren't right. You guys won the next 2 and won the national championship. Can you just talk about the resiliency of this team? Every time you lost a game, you came back and won it. And to win the national championship. And Jada, if you could also talk about the resiliency of this team and how that made this team so special.
Start with Nicole, please.
I just think this past year and a half has built this team. And we definitely took advantage of the time that we could have together with the incoming freshmen, with COVID and the rule changes and all that stuff. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's a complete belief in one another. I mean, you can't be resilient if you don't believe in the person beside you, the person in front of you, the person behind you. If you don't have that belief, that trust, then you're not going to go anywhere. And then it's a pride thing. I'm proud to represent OU, and I'm proud to represent my sisters, Coach Gasto, this university. And I'm not going to let anybody come out and beat me twice. And I take that personally if I get a loss, and we take it personally and we fight for each other, because it's not just me, it's just my team, it's OU, it's this university, it's all that kind of stuff. So I think that definitely plays into the resiliency factor.
Jada?
We've been resilient since I stepped on campus, just with COVID and just with all the things that we've had to gone through. But the pride of not letting a team beat us twice is something that I hope to take into next year. And we've shown throughout the season, like, we can't let this team beat us twice. Like, let's trust in each other, and let's keep on moving, and let's just fight to the end.
Jenny Carlson?
Nicole, I wanted to see if you could talk about that play there right before the end when you face planted. I hope you're okay, but can you talk me through that? And then Jada, I was wondering if you could also talk about Jocelyn's hitting a huge homer to start the scoring today. I think about the fact that she only plays that designated player role. Only, I don't mean only, like just the fact that hitting is her thing. To come out and have that kind of performance, how difficult is that, and what has she meant to you guys?
Jada, let's start with you while Nicole contemplates her face plant.
Yeah, Jossie starting the game off like that was a big momentum shifter just for us to start. Like, we needed momentum. We needed to get that, all right, like, let's go. Like, that's going to be our spark type of thing. And for her to come in and relay, like, what she's seeing, what she's feeling, so we know how to feel like when we go up to bat. And it was huge for her to do that so early in the game and just start the pace for our first three.
Nicole?
I think you can kind of like see right here, there's a little bit of a mark. But I just remember thinking before that pitch, the girl had already hit 2 to me and right, and so I was kind of ready for something my way. But like I said earlier, this team, like, we do it for each other. And I just remember thinking to myself, especially like towards the later games, whenever it's like bigger moments, I always think to myself, like, I would run through a wall for my pitcher. And the ball came, and I was like, well, I'm either going to catch it or I'm not, but I'm not going to drop it because I slowed down or anything. So I ran right into that wall, smacked it right in the face, and knocked off my glasses. But yeah, I just remember thinking, like, I'm going to go all out. Like, she's going all out. Like, why wouldn't I go all out for her? So, but I do think it's really fitting that the game ended in the circle and G got to get the last out. I think that was something really special.
Nicole, Jada, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Congratulations. Nicole, good luck in the Olympics.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Viva.
We are now joined by head coach Patty Gasso and the real MOP of the tournament, it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's begin with Ryan Aber.
Yeah. Hey, Patty, congratulations. Wondering, what was that last moment of the game like? It looked like you were almost holding onto the fence to keep you standing there. And, what does this mean to cap off this unique season in this manner? And also, I understand DJ's getting married tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes, he is. He's got a rehearsal dinner happening as we speak. So I'm paying for it, but I'm not there. And I'll be at the wedding tomorrow. So a lot of things were happening. I don't think anyone expected that. Okay, hang on, JT. Wait, Chris. Go with Dad. Go on. I don't think anyone thought that they would take an extra day, so that kind of screwed up family plans, but I will be there for the wedding, so I'm really excited about that. I'm sorry that he missed it. But that is a pretty big deal for us tomorrow. So Giselle, my heart just was overflowing with joy for her because it was a tough season for her. It was her super senior year. She had a lot of things to prove. 2019 didn't finish the way she wanted and went through some really tenacious surgery and rehab just to get back and play that last season. So I'm just overwhelmed with joy for that young lady because she was very diligent and fought through it and didn't have her best season, and she would tell you that, but I don't know that it matters right now to her because she had that moment in the course of about 7 days and caps off her career in the most ultimate way you could ever think of.
James Hale.
Patty, at the beginning of the year, you told me you thought you might have a special team. Now you've got a national championship, you're fifth. Your early thoughts have turned out to be totally correct, haven't they?
I knew we were good. I knew we were good. It was really what got us here was really good leadership, a great staff, great strength coach, great hitting coach, great pitching coach, just surrounded with some really hardworking people. And I think these hardworking people had so much belief in this team and they felt it daily. We practice hard. We practice hard daily. They'll tell you that. And it's how it all pays off. It's just a lot of hard work and a lot of belief in our culture and our championship mindset and all that we put to work there.
And Engelbrecht.
Hey, Patty, congrats on the win. I just want to know, how does it feel winning this national title after everything this team and program had to go through last year with COVID? What does it mean just for the university to come out of last year and this year a champion?
Yeah, I just don't know that people understand how rough it was. I think every coach in the country could relate, where week by week you're wondering who's going to be at practice and who might not, whether they are contact traced and they're out for 2 weeks, 10 days. It was really tough. It was tough on a few players particularly that were quarantined but never had tested positive. So there was a lot of that going on. When we started the season, we didn't know who might not be traveling with us. So every day at practice, I was trying to get people to learn new positions to fill in case we don't have those players with us. So it was hard. It was, but at the same time, they were so athletic and understanding about it and saying, hey, whatever we need to do to win, put me wherever you need to put me. Some players were sitting out when, they know that they're good enough to be in. It was just such a selfless team approach the entire season. That's what it's about.
Ryan Chapman.
Hey, Patty, you kind of talked about the leadership in Giselle, but also Shannon and Nicole, your super seniors. Like, what did they mean to the team this year? And especially as you're having to rally this weekend, staving off elimination, basically the entire, time you're here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you could see both teams today were really starting to run out of gas, especially with how hot it was and the amount of games that we played and the quick turnarounds that we have to face on a pretty much daily basis. Giselle was just something different about her this week that everyone felt very confident about. She had a different look, approach, calm, confident, wanting the ball. Shannon as well. Shannon was ready at all times. Nicole May got some really valuable experience on this big stage. But Nicole Mendes is a whole nother level of leader. And it can be she's so well-spoken, she's so passionate, but anything she says, she backs it up. I think Jossie's a lot like that as well. Lindsay Elam, she's our captain. There was some really good leadership going on this week. Those three in particular, I was really proud of how they took some things over. I think they helped people like Lou get fired up and have a big week, huge week for her. And Lou is someone that is sitting out and wondering when I'm getting in. And I mean, she got that opportunity, she just blasted. And in that moment, it's like, I don't care whether this is a matchup for you or not, you're staying in the game. And some of the catches she made were incredible. Jada Coleman, Tiare Jennings, some of the young ones had to be led by those who have been there, and they did a really nice job of that.
Eric Bailey.
Hey, Patty, just want to ask you, when we talk about passing the torch, how much, you talked a little bit about it, but the leadership that those super seniors are giving players like Jada, players like Tiare, how big is that for the future of the program?
I can't even tell you. It's so hard to get here. It is so difficult to be sitting here. Like words can't even express. It's just really hard. It's a grind, and everyone's got to be kind of in the right mindset. And there are a few of our players that were really struggling uncharacteristically this week. But the freshmen, finding and feeling what it takes to pull this off is invaluable. Kinsey Hansen, kids like that are just, well, I guess they're super fresh. What are they? Super sophomores. This is a young group, and I didn't realize until we lost our first game. I'm driving driving to the hotel from the stadium, and I'm thinking, wow, why did we look so deer in the headlight? We weren't quite ready for what we were facing with Odyssey and James Madison. And I started counting, like, how many players have been here before. And there was a lot less than what I thought, because they've handled themselves so well in postseason and through the season. But it's quite a different situation when you get to the big stage and what they've been dreaming of. But for them to find out what it feels like and what it takes to win it, future is really, really bright for the Sooners.
Graham Hayes.
Hi, Patty. You have the 5 titles, but basically four different generations of core players have won titles for you, which not many women's programs in any sport have done. What was the tipping point for you when you knew that the program could reload year after year after year and always compete?
I just think our staff does we work really hard recruiting, really hard. So you got to get good athletes, but you got to get athletes that fit your program. And I feel like we found those athletes, and it's really become a great sisterhood. We had some of our national champions up in the stands. I took a picture with Sid Romero and Kelsey Arnold, and they made sure I knew that they were present for 3 of the 5 national championships. And so it's just a really tremendous culture that we're living in, and the expectations don't get too big for them. But this culture is it's breeding itself, and it's also bringing in a lot of athletes who want to be part of it.
Karen?
Patty, the 2013 team, a lot of folks hold up as sort of your gold standard, just in terms of power and balance, one player to the next. I don't think you'd argue that point. And I know they're all special to you, all your champions. Now that this team is done, do you see viable comparisons between this one and the one from 8 years ago?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you got a Lauren Chamberlain and Jocelyn Allo. You've got Shelby Penley and a Tiare Jennings. I mean, you can compare them all the way down the lineup. We had more lefties in the 2013, but they were hybrid type players. They could bunt, they could slap, they could hit gaps, they could hit it out at times. We had a few of our athletes like a Jada Coleman be able to do that. So they're very comparable top to bottom. Don't make me choose, because I can't. They're both very, very worthy.
Jenny Carlson.
Hey, Patty, you talked a little bit yesterday about Jocelyn and just her, the fact she was able to bring it every time and to open up the scoring in the first inning with that home run, and being your designated player, hitting is her deal with that kind of impetus. How important was that for her to hit that home run today, but also just the challenge of that's how she's going to be measured game to game to come through like she did for you guys this week.
Yeah, we knew that we wanted to set the tone pretty early, and Jocelyn Allo is made differently. When she puts her mind to something, she gets it done, whatever it is. And she's such a perfectionist with hitting. We handed her the circle late in the game, and she just got right in the middle of this team and told them what they needed to do and how they needed to change. There's nothing I'm going to do to stop that, because they want to listen. They want to hear what she has to say. But she is a perfectionist and one of the smartest hitters I've ever seen. Knows how to use her body the right way, knows what to look for. She was so focused and calm throughout this series, the entire World Series, that it disrupts pitchers, it disrupts their rhythm, it's hard to call what to call against her, what pitch to throw, because she is so versatile with about every pitch. So she was just a really outstanding leader by voice and by example this week.
All right, last one for Coach Josh Callaway.
Yeah, Coach, I guess it's a good way to finish it off. I was going to ask you to talk about the WCWS as a whole. You smashed attendance records and viewership records. Just it feels like the sport of softball took a step forward in the last week. Just your take on the whole event of this week's WCWS.
Yeah, I could tell you that we were all absolutely overwhelmed with the fan support from the Sooners, from the state, from then there were people coming up to us at the hotel that are from different states, just coming out to watch us. But the Sooner fans showed up in droves. It was so unreal. We have never felt anything like that. Our athletes were talking about, feels like we're on the sidelines of an OU football game, how loud it is. We just couldn't hear each other. And the fans were passionate, and they were, I thought, very respectful to our opponents as well. And they really, when I first started here, no one really knew what softball was about. Now we've got some very educated fans that know exactly how this game is played. And they know when to interject with us and when to feed us with their noise and their passion. And it's moments that these players will never forget. It'll live in their lives forever, and they'll be able to tell their grandchildren what this felt like. But it's not just the OU fans. I mean, every team we play has a really strong supporting group right behind their dugout that is as passionate as everyone, everybody else in the stadium that might be wearing OU. So there are names that showed up like Odyssey Alexander that everyone will remember from this World Series. Rachel Garcia through her last game as a college athlete here at the College World Series. I mean, there were so many wonderful storylines. To be a part of it was really special to this team and to our program and to our university. So it's been quite an honor to be part of it, and just so appreciative of all the work that goes in by all the crew, whether it's ground crews, the NCAA crew that's helping us through a lot of the changes in schedule and so forth. And what I really hope, in a very sincere way, I think a lot of us coaches spoke up. This tournament is big. It's getting really, really big. It's getting a lot of viewership. It's getting talked about a lot. As coaches, we just want to do what's best for this sport in a respectful way. And we just hope that people are listening, whether it's changing our schedules, giving us an extra day, not having us play in late evening games. There's just a lot of things that definitely, instant replay absolutely needs to be a part of this. So it feels to me like this College World Series really exposed a lot of things in a good way that need to change to make our game better for our student athletes.
Coach, it's been an absolute pleasure over the past week and a half. Thank you so much for being so gracious with your time. Congratulations. And you are first class as always.
Well, I appreciate all of you media who are making this game as big as it is. Besides television, you guys are doing a great job of covering us. And we all, on behalf of softball collegiately, we appreciate you all.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.